स्वामी जी, पहला पहला आपसे थोड़ा ये जानना था, पिछली बार आपने कहा था you gave a beautiful experience that you had with Kalam Sahab visiting you at the ashram, and that brought tears to thousands of people who were listening to you. And even today when people listen to you, people do get emotional that how could sound of music, directly go to his soul. And how was Dr. Kalam mesmerized at the ashram. Swamiji, his humility is what you mentioned. Uh, in some of your articles and blogs, you've mentioned many of your experiences. Can you share, how did this journey of interactions with Dr. Kalam started? आपका और कलाम साहब का ये जो एसोसिएशन था, ये शुरू कैसे हुआ?
Oh, right. I'll start from the beginning.
जी sir.
You know what happened, that I came across a book of Dr. Kalam, India 2020, a vision of the new millennium. And there he gave a very optimistic point of view about the future of India. Now, at that time, you must be understanding, in the year 2000, there was a lot of corruption in the country, and the whole atmosphere was very negative. And I had a flavor for interacting with the youth. Whenever I would go and interact with the youth and tell them Swami Vivekananda's vision of India, that Swami Vivekananda said that India will become so great that its past glory will fade into insignificance, and India will once again become Jagat Guru and will conquer the whole world by spiritual culture. All these ideas that Swami Vivekananda's ideas are there in the books. I wanted to promote those ideas, and I had conviction in my heart, and so I was conveying those ideas. But the youths were not getting convinced. So when I got some facts and figures from the book of Dr. Kalam, that was very, very good welcome. That was a very welcome thing. So I started quoting Dr. Kalam. You see, even Dr. Kalam, who has analyzed the situation, who is one of the great figures, at the time he had not yet become the President of India. So that became handy to me, that book, number one. Number two, when I heard that he has taken premature retirement in order to interact with 100,000 students of the country, then I said, here is a man who is working out the ideas of Swami Vivekananda, because Swami Vivekananda said, my faith is in the younger generation. It is they who work out my plans and programs. Here is a man who has got faith in the younger generation and is trying to work with them. Now, here is the man who can really translate the thoughts of Swami Vivekananda into action. So I wanted to interact with him, gift him some books of Swami Vivekananda, tell him whatever you are thinking, you are really carrying out and implementing the ideas of Swami Vivekananda. So I wanted to give him more ideas and more books. Now I wanted an opportunity to interact with him. So I got his phone number from one of the friends. And then I thought there has to be some sort of some reason for interacting. So I thought we had constructed 81 school buildings as a part of earthquake rehabilitation project in Gujarat. I'm talking about 2001. So 2001 only, 26 January, there was the earthquake, and immediately we had started a rehabilitation project. So I thought, why not invite him for inaugurating one of the school buildings? That will be the good occasion. And then we'll invite the youth, and he can interact with them. And that will be an occasion when I can present to him books, and I can interact with him about the ideas of Swami Vivekananda, about youth development and all that. So I telephoned him. He himself picked up the phone. I thought that I told that you please give the line to Dr. Kalam. Hey, Dr. Kalam said, I am speaking, Dr. Kalam. That time he had no PA, he was just a simple man. He took up the phone. Then I told him that I want to invite you for this one. He said, Swamiji, I'm very busy. As you know, I'm meeting so many students all over the country, but I'll come. Then once or twice again, I reminded, he said, Swamiji, I'm very busy. Then suddenly I remembered, as I read in the newspapers that he was coming to Rajkot for a Christ College function on 25th December 2001. So I thought, let me personally invite. I was at that time the head of our Porbandar center. So I came to Rajkot and sent a message that I want to meet you. Where should I meet you? Whether at the airport, because he had come only for a few hours and he was going to leave. And or whether I should meet you at your place of residence, that is Rajkumar College. He sent the message, Swamiji, you are a monk. I should come to you. You should not come to me. You see his humility. What a wonderful humility. So, and he himself came to the ashrama on his way to the airport. And without our invitation. And then he came. And then I told you last time how he went to the temple and how he was transported to a deep meditation. All these things I have told you. So that was my first visit with Dr. Kalam. And that time I told that you please, I personally told him I want to invite you for inaugurating one of the school buildings in Porbandar, considered as a part of Earthquake Rehabilitation Project. So he said, okay, Swamiji, I'll try. Then I said, and we will call 3,000 youth and you can interact with them. Oh, then I will come. Then he showed more interest. Then again, I telephoned him in the month of January, once or twice. He said, Swamiji, I'm very busy. Let me see. Let me find out. Now, then I lost all hopes. I lost hopes and I left it. Suddenly, one fine morning, Dr. Kalam started talking to me on telephone. Then he said, Swamiji, I am coming to Porbandar for going to Prasla. Prasla is about, say, 100 kilometers from there, about 80 to 100 kilometers. So I'll have to go to Prasla. So for which I have to go to Porbandar airport. From there, I go to Prasla and the flight reaches at 12:30. So I will have only half an hour and then I must reach Prasla by 3 p.m. This is what he told me. And I became very much excited. I said, Dr. Kalam, you had promised me that you'll come. Yes, Swamiji, I'll confirm you. I'll confirm you later on. Next day again, he telephoned. You see, he first himself is telephoning going on. Second telephone from him. Swamiji, I'm so sorry. I will not be able to come this time. Perhaps I will have to make another program for you because the flight time is changed. It is coming only at 1:30. So I will have to go straight from airport to Prasla. So, Swamiji, I'm sorry. I will have to make another program. I said, Dr. Kalam, but here, all the people here in Porbandar have become mad out of excitement that you are coming. Now they'll become very much disappointed if you don't come. He says, Swamiji, but what to do? I can't help it. Then he asked, is there any morning flight, Swamiji, for Porbandar, from Bombay to Porbandar? I said, no, only one flight from Bombay to Porbandar. And suddenly a thought came to my mind. But yes, there is a morning flight from Bombay to Rajkot. And if you come to Rajkot in the morning, we'll take care of your travel from Rajkot to Porbandar and you can finish the program and then we can take you to Prasla. Okay, Swamiji, let me think over. Third day, again he telephoned. Swamiji, I'm coming. You arrange my travel from Rajkot to Porbandar on 13th February. So this is how, then I went on 12th February, I went to Rajkot. 13th morning, we started from Rajkot at about 8 o'clock. And within 3 hours, we reached Porbandar. We had a lot of talks during that. And then he came to our memorial building where Swami Vivekananda stayed for more than 4 months, the same historic Bhojeshwar bungalow. Just as there is a historic Dilaram bungalow where Swami Vivekananda stayed as the guest of the then Diwan Manibai Jashbai in Baroda. So in Bhojeshwar bungalow also Swami Vivekananda stayed as the guest of the then administrator Shankar Pananu Pandit. More than 4 months he stayed there. So government of Gujarat had given to us for converting to befitting memorial. That was in 1997. So we had already converted into memorial, and the room in which Swami Vivekananda had stayed, we had converted into meditation. So when I took Dr. Kalam to the room of Swamiji, where Swamiji had stayed, again he went to deep meditation. Same thing happened. And he was there on deep meditation for 10 minutes. Now there were 3,000 students waiting there for the inauguration of the school building, and they were all sitting there from morning. So again, I had to touch him, and I told him in the ear, Dr. Kalam, it is getting late, but he was not listening. Again, I had to shake him like that time. And then he said, I said, Dr. Kalam, it is getting late, 3,000 students waiting there for a long time. Then he wrote down also in the visitors book of Porbandar, Swamiji, I am so thankful to you for giving me such a wonderful experience here at Porbandar, for giving me so much happiness. He wrote down in the visitors book. And he wrote down in his book, Ignited Minds, that at Rajkot Ramakrishna Ashram, in the temple, as well as at the room in which Swamiji stayed here in Porbandar, both the places was lost in meditation. That is the word he has used, I was lost in meditation. Then he went to, we took him to the school after refreshment, and then he inaugurated the school, planted a tree, talked to 3,000 youth, wonderful interaction. And then he went to Gandhiji's birthplace, came to ashram again, took lunch, and then he went to Prasna. And then again, it so happened in the evening, he went to Rajkot for taking a flight to Bombay on to Chennai. And it so happened that I had also to take a flight that very day from Rajkot to Bombay on to Varanasi for the centenary celebration. And seeing me in the aircraft, Swami says, Swamiji, you are going by the same flight. I want to sit near you. Like a small child, I want to sit near you. I said, okay. Then I told the young man who was sitting by my side, please go to the seat of Dr. Kalam, Bharat Ratna. I want to sit near me. And then he told Dr. Kalam, said, Swamiji, in the morning you told so many nice things about Swami Vivekananda. Please tell something more. Again, I told many things. So this is how the whole thing started. But one thing I would like to share when we are talking about leadership, there are many things that I mean, it take hours together I can talk. We had more than 20 meetings together, and each and every meeting is so inspiring. But I would like to share, since you have given the topic on leadership.
Ji, Swamiji.
You know that the type of leadership that is now very much popular in the whole world, not only in America, but in the whole world, is servant leadership. Though started by Robert Greenleaf in 1976, now it is becoming very popular. That servant leadership, because now the 21st century is the knowledge society, and it's a knowledge workers society. It's a century of knowledge workers. So the old traditional methods of leadership and management will not go, will be in vain, as Peter Drucker said. So now the servant leadership is becoming very popular. But though Robert Greenleaf started servant leadership, is based on the ideas of Indian spiritual culture. If you go through the book Servant Leadership, you will find out his basic inspiration was like that. But in India, we have been practicing this servant leadership for thousands of years. Sri Krishna practiced it, Gandhiji practiced it, Swami Vivekananda practiced it, Dr. Kalam, of course, practiced it. So I'll share one incident about that. So when we took Dr. Kalam to that school for inaugurating the school at Porbandar on 13th February 2002. After inaugurating the school, he delivered a beautiful lecture. Then he was asked this question, what is the source of your inspiration? Then he said, normally I do not leak out this secret, but this is the right place to leak out this secret. And then he said, I was in the 8th class and I was the monitor of my school. And my headmaster called me, today you bring all the children to the school and they will listen to the running commentary over radio, no TV at that time. 15th August 1947, India will be at independence and all of them must listen to the running commentary. So he said, I brought all these students, I was the monitor and we listened to the radio. The lectures were in English and Hindi. We did not know any of these two languages. We knew only Tamil. But anyway, we were happy that the nation became independent. Then he says, next in the morning, I saw 2 photographs on the newspaper. The first photograph showing Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru hoisting the Indian flag on the Red Fort. And he said, Dr. Kalam said, I was very happy to see that photograph. By the side was the second photograph. And Dr. Kalam said, That second photograph was my primary education, was my secondary education, was my college education, and was my life education. And what was that photograph? That photograph was showing when the whole nation was celebrating the independence of India. The person who did maximum for that, who sacrificed maximum for that, who labored day and night for that, that person was not celebrating the independence of India. He was walking barefooted in the streets of Kolkata, wiping the tears of the people who were suffering because of Noakhali riots, Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. He said, I was so much impressed. I said, here is the nobility of leadership. He could have become the Prime Minister of India, but he never cared for any power and position. He sacrifices maximum. And the day all are enjoying, the day all are celebrating, he's not celebrating. He is still having that compassion. He's still weeping for the people who are weeping. He's still wiping the tears of the people the day on which India has become independent. He said, I could understand what is the nobility of leadership. That was a great lesson for me. And I think Dr. Kalam has imbibed that lesson of nobility of leadership from the life of Mahatma Gandhi. He got that inspiration. And when I told him about the idea of Swami Vivekananda, how he practiced servant leadership, he was very much happy. How this Ramakrishna Mission was started by Swami Vivekananda and all that I had told. So he is a great source of inspiration. Dr. Kalam also has practiced servant leadership. See his humility. So many incidents I can share with you, how humble he is. Once we had we had a youth convention that was 18th of January 2012 in Baroda. So as soon as he entered, it was C.C. Mehta Auditorium. And as he was stepping up the platform, all were clapping. As soon as he entered, all were clapping. And he was just stepping up the platform, the dais, he saw a beautiful chair was kept for him. Other chairs were simple chairs. For him, that was a beautiful chair. No, we could not manage so beautiful chair, so we had taken on rent. And he was very angry. He said, what is this? Remove this chair. Remove immediately. Then only he entered the dais. First, we had to remove the chair. He said, let all the chairs be same. He insisted it should be a simple chair. I was amazed at his simplicity. Other places, the minister said, you must bring this chair. And we have a written also, if you do not have special chair with so much bag, this and that, you are gone. Here is the reverse thing. He is telling it should be a simple chair. I was amazed. Of course, at the time, he was not the president. I'm talking about 2012.
Yes.
Whatever it is. Even when he was the president, Rashtrapati, he broke so many protocols. I know when I went to meet him, thrice I met him at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. So whatever it is, I am very much charmed by his servant leadership, his nobility of leadership that he learned from Gandhiji and practiced himself, and his sense of humility and all that. I have many things to share, but I am waiting for listen to some Mr. Chaube.
Well, thank you, Swamiji, for mentioning so many beautiful incidents that Kalam Sahab had with you. And the last incident that you mentioned of 2012, I was also in the audience when I, observed this entire sequence of transactions between Kalam Sahab and all the organizers. And that was when I realized that this is not an ordinary man. He's not just Dr. Kalam, the creator of India's missile program. He's a saint in human form.